Hi everyone, this is Guru Taha presenting the final project for the qualitative research method. And my presentation is about collaborative activity and AI tools in second language writing, a review of literature. This review of literature will revolve around three main components: collaborative writing and collaborative feedback processing, and AI technology in second language writing. Regarding the first part, which is the collaborative writing, I conducted this review of literature to know more about what is out there in the field about the collaborative writing. I wanted to know what is it, what kind of practice or pedagogical practice it is, and what kind of benefit people are gaining from this, and more importantly, what is out there in the field, like where the field going. So in the literature, one of the key figure in collaborative writing, Naomi Storch defined collaborative writing as an activity wherein a co-authoring is realized by two or more collaborators involved in the different stages of creating text and sharing responsibility and agency for the creation process. In this process, collaborators engage in reciprocal feedback on each other's ideas, enhancing their language awareness, facilitating their language learning, and promoting their writing skills. Collaborative writing, in this case, presents some kind of like a move away from the traditional learning to write, which is basically more of being a teacher based classroom into something like an amalgamation of learning to write and writing to learn. So it's a mixture of student oriented classroom into and teacher oriented classroom and the learning based classroom pedagogy. More importantly, the idea of collaborative writing, when we ask our students to work collaboratively, they usually bring in their previous experience of working with groups, which is quite different from the collaborative writing described again earlier. Like, that's why in the literature we have two concepts that we need to keep in mind when we approach the idea of the concept of collaborative writing. One of them is to work collaboratively, and the other is to work cooperatively. So the difference between them, according to Storch 2019, is that the collaborative mode of co-authoring text differs from cooperative writing modes, wherein learner tend to divide roles, compose and scribe, or divide the task, and the joint text is an aggregate of individual contribution. Meaning, like in collaborative writing, the collaborator involved in all the stages of the co-authoring. Let's say, for example, if you ask your students to work collaboratively on writing some kind of a paragraph, they are involved in the process of brainstorming, and then the idea of rough drafting, and then reviewing, and then the final process, which is polishing their final version of the paragraph. When it comes to cooperative writing, they usually like divide the task between them. Let's say, for example, one of them is supposed to, let's say, I will brainstorm and then you will do the draft, then you will review the task. And then the outcome, the co-author text is the aggregate of the individual contribution of every single one of them. So in the literature, cooperative writing attracted the attention of both people working in classroom like educator and also those interested in second language writing and composition as well. That's why we have several studies reporting on the benefit of cooperative writing and how different factors impact on like the affordances of language of this pedagogical tool and the language learning opportunity, revolving around the idea of pulling together their linguistic resources to solve the problems. Collaborators engage in language mediated activity, facilitating the co construction of language and establishing a high level of performance during their linguistic deliberation. Looking into the literature, I found out that most of the work on collaborative writing is based on three theoretical frameworks: the interactionist approach, and the sociocultural theory, which is surprisingly have been used in 71% of studies targeting collaborative writing and the collaborative activities in second language composition classes, and also the activity theory. Again, the latest version of the sociocultural theory. And in reviewing literature, I have found out the mainstream strands regarding researching second language writing. One of them is the group size and the interactional pattern. And in group size, we're targeting most of the study. We're targeting the impact of the number of the collaborator on during working on the activity. Like, do we have only two people per work? Do we have three to four people, small groups, and which is more effective? And then we have the interactional pattern, like when collaborators work together, like how the interaction goes, like are they collaboratively, like working with each other, building upon each other contribution? Are there some kind of just like tension between them, like everyone is trying to defend their point of view? Or is it just like one of them is quite well, again, competent, while the other just like does not contribute much of the other one? Or is the pattern that one of them is controlling the whole thing and the other one is just like learning because he is quite less competent? So in the literature, we have just like four main patterns in the group dynamics. One of them is just like collaboratively, like collaborator working collaboratively, or even we have dominant versus dominant, and then we have the passive versus active, and then we have the expert versus the novice. A second research strand targets the factors affecting collaboration, like how the collaboration is impacted, like what are the sociocultural facts, like the goals or even the contextual factors that impact this collaboration. And also we have the first language impact, because again, you're asking students to work collaboratively, synchronously or synchronously. And in this case, especially in second language context, you cannot control those with the first language, especially with the beginning levels. So in this case, do we have any impact of the second first language being used? Is this like providing some kind of facilitation of doing the task, or is it just like preventing or somehow not contributing to the language learning process that we're working on when we ask our students to work collaboratively? And also the task type, like what kind of task you're asking your students to accomplish when they work collaboratively. And more importantly, the idea of task complexity, like how challenging the task is. Is it simple? Is it just like quite challenging to students? And then a third research strand has to do with the perspective, like what kind of perspective collaborators have about the collaboration in accomplishing the task at hand. And finally, the idea of the impact, the takeaways, what like the gain the learners will get from working collaboratively, and the idea of retaining the gain, the benefit they collected from working collaboratively. A second main concept that has been highlighted is the idea of collaborative feedback processing. And it's a quite a new concept in the literature because, again, most of the work conducted so far focused on the idea of collaborative writing. So, focusing more on producing some kind of draft of the text, or working like more of the idea of working on the text itself, like producing a co-authored, co-constructed text But the idea of collaborative feedback processing is quite new. And even Storch 21 highlighted that the idea of collaboration has been extended lately to provide some additional scaffolding and scaffolding to provide and augment language learning opportunity. However, despite its great potential, few studies have been investigated so far to explore the effects of uh, collaborative feedback processing. So this idea, like when we provide students with feedback, we want to know how students process the feedback. And then one of the key concepts here is the teacher feedback. That's why we're quite interested to know in the literature how many studies do we have there. And again, reviewing the literature, I have found that there is a small body of literature, again, exploring the CFP and how it is effective in the production of grammatically more accurate text. And also, the gain that students are getting from this is somehow quite beneficial to all the collaborator in the text itself. Finally, the last trend is the idea of AI technology and second language writing. So, with the again constant emergence of like AI technology, leveraging the potential of the recently released AI technology to enhance the quality of second language writing attracted as well many scholars. Studies have also conducted to explore the area in which these tools can support second language writing in their writer in their language learning process. For example, Sue study et al. Presented ChatGPT as a beneficial tool in the academic writing classroom, especially for enhancing argumentative writing skills, and also researching this form of hybrid intelligence, like um, the students' knowledge and the AI affordances and potential have been called for by many scholars like Tal et al. And the end 2023. And the exploration of the effectiveness of collaboration and feedback processing is still another area that calls for more research. So again, the takeaway from this literature is just like growing number of studies exploring the benefit from peer interaction during collaborative writing, and then we still have like more study to be conducted, reviewing the idea of collaboration to the idea of founding more of utilizing the combination of collaborative writing and processing regarding teacher feedback and other feedback tools. My work, based on what I have reviewed so far, is trying to fill or contribute to that literature by combining the effectiveness of collaborative writing and collaborative processing of one of the AI tools, ChatGPT, to see how learner will engage with the generated feedback and the impact of this process and the quality of their writing. And also, I'm targeting to leverage ChatGPT in conducting collaborative activity in classroom and the impact of this tool on the quality of their writing and enhance the agency of second language writing. In conclusion, like collaboration in second language writing has been focusing mostly on the writing process and producing a product, the co-author product. And also, we can tapped into the main research strand in collaborative writing and the intention to extend this collaboration to revision process. So far, still quite understudied area of research. And most importantly, I want to just like to conclude with this part, which is Storch 2021, like combining collaborative condition of writing and feedback processing may create more conducive condition for noticing the individual condition of working uh, on writing tests. And more importantly, I want to contribute to this by working on leveraging AI tool in enhancing second language writing learning experience. Thank you, and that's my quite quick review of literature. And I wish you guys the best of luck with your project. And I'm looking forward to hear your thoughts. Thank you, and Good luck. And here are my references, and thank you.